competition across the continents, the communication throughout the history. 32 teams, 30 days. Novel games, same aim. Whose new chapter it might be, whose another milestone it could be.
What a goal that is!
Whose last dance it would be. Perpetually and relentlessly. It's what you're chasing for that pushes you forward. FIFA Club World Cup, Star Time Sports, beyond passion.
It's a place very close to you, a place easily accessible in a serene environment with adequate security. Ade Super Hotels Limited is the place with the state-of-the-art facility, spacious car park, air-conditioned rooms and suites with modern toilet facilities, standard swimming pool, well-stocked indoor and outdoor baths, boardroom for corporate meetings, halls for all kinds of events and parties, a gymnasium equipped with up-to-date facilities, restaurants that provide local and continental dishes with special services for banquet and buffet. Laundry services are also available. At Ade Super Hotels Limited, you are assured of 24 hours power supply as well as best ever reception that you can imagine. Ade Super Hotels is located at Elisha Road, PO Box 3028, Akure, Ondo State. Telephone 0803-440-4358, 034-206-855. Email adesuperhotels@yahoo.com. Website www.adesuperhotels.com. Ade Super Hotels Limited, hotel with passion for maximum comfort.
A competition across the continents, the communication throughout the history. 32 teams, 30 days. Novel games, same aim. Whose new chapter it might be, whose another milestone it could be.
What a goal that is!
Whose last dance it would be. Perpetually and relentlessly. It's what you're chasing for that pushes you forward. FIFA Club World Cup, Star Time Sports, beyond passion.
Sunday is usually observed as a day of prayers and worship unto God. It is also a day to unwind and visit loved ones, as well as prepare for work and the business of the new week and more. It is on this note I welcome you to this week's edition of our news magazine program Weekend Grill, where we celebrate people, culture, and events on Nta Akure. On our package, we have the graduation ceremony and valedictory service of Preston International Schools, Akure, as the graduates and their parents speak on the academic journey and plans for higher educational qualifications. Civilization, as good as it sounds, has led to gradual extinction of some salient aspects of our cultural value. So much so, its impact on our rich cultural heritage is now a thing of immense concern across generations. We have the reasons for this, plus the rise in teenage pregnancy. This is a lineup tonight. We'll be back after the short break. I am Abiola Ario. Good evening. We begin with our new segment to create an avenue for investors to explore and invest in its rich tourism potential. Ondo State government has expressed willingness to partner investors to develop the industry. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa was speaking during a courtesy visit by members of the Nigerian Association of Tour Operators, NATOP, at Government House, Akure. Paul Omokago has details.
The untapped tourism potential of Ondo State is an area the state government is prioritizing in boosting its internally generated revenue by providing infrastructure to attract investors and significantly position the state as a tourism hub. Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa says his administration is committed to partnering both local and foreign investors in opening up the state for the industry to thrive. He highlighted high-level consultations with experts in the industry and plans to consolidate on its security architecture, as well as provide an enabling environment for socio-economic activities across the 3 senatorial districts.
The access to those states we are creating a lot of routes and means of getting there. Currently, we have 3 airlines applying Akure, Lagos, Akure, Abuja, Overland, Air Peace, and Green Africa. And you can see that already down to Akure is being realized currently to pass through that place, so that we move from Lagos, easily you drive down to or then move into it is a single lane road, but it's going to a nice corridor just to create access and make those who want to go travel easy.
Earlier, members of the Nigeria Association of Tour Operators expressed satisfaction with the serenity of the state and tourism site the team visited, particularly the Araromi Beach in Ilaje local government area of the state.
Some of us, even as Nigerians, don't even know Nigeria. In that way, we looked at it that if we sell Nigeria, then we need to know well about the products we're selling. But before we sell, we need to visit, test, package the product, then we push it out to the world.
The tour operators also made contributions during an interactive session with the governor to further promote and position the state as a destination point for tourism. In Akure, Paulo Mukago, NTA News.
Nigeria and Brazil are making new commitments towards fast-tracking the processes of actualizing the gains of the bilateral relations between the 2 countries. President Bola Tinubu and his Brazilian counterpart, Luiz Lula da Silva, expressed enthusiasm for a timely and fruitful relations between Nigeria and Brazil at their meeting in Rio. State House correspondent Musbah Dan Wahab reports that the meeting was ahead of the 2025 BRICS Summit of the heads of state and government holding in Brazil. The report.
Presidents Bola Tinubu and Luiz Lula da Silva of Brazil. Again, a bilateral relations meeting, fast transforming into friendship intimacy. One apparently born out of a shared interest to get results for their peoples. Under President Tinubu and his Brazilian counterparts, the 2 countries have set in motion new areas of collaboration, particularly in livestock and agriculture. Here, another meeting to assess the progress and fast-track the process.
The 2 presidents met and you could see the passion in them, you could see the intensity of that intention to collaborate and partner with both countries.
With series of meetings held between the 2 nations already, both parties have agreed on knowledge sharing to facilitate the much expected benefits of the relations.
Research and development in areas of aviation, areas of agriculture, areas of livestock, mining and trade and industry that would have joint benefits, mutual benefits for both countries.
Today, Brazil has been declared foot and mouth disease free, and that is a record. So we are already talking with Embrapa and the Minister of Agriculture to get lessons, to learn lessons from that practice, improve the productivity of our animals in the not-distant future. We are also going to look at the issue of poultry, because they are also very advanced in poultry genetics. We are also going to leverage on that.
Representatives of subnationals in Nigeria are also hoping to tap into the bilateral relations for their respective states.
Lagos in particular, how do we ensure that aviation become something that is signed on very, very quickly. And so it was re-emphasized again that we should immediately have, an air movement, both from the Nigerian side and so from the Brazil side. So you probably will see a Sao Paulo to Lagos, flight taking off very soon. I was truly very excited about that.
If you do agriculture at a very commercial large scale, again, it comes to play that security in between is also taken care of. So the spaces are no longer just left loose, but are fully occupied and then for commercial basis.
They've seen opportunity for a lot of exchanges where it's going to be both import and export of goods and services, and also from both parties.
They both resolved that they must pursue their conclusions very aggressively by removing any bureaucracy or red tape. Our president committed to that. They both resolved that by the time the president is coming here next on a state visit, and between now and that time, they must begin to work out how to ensure that obvious and deliberate steps are seen in actualizing all the discussion that we had today.
The Nigerian president, who was a special guest of his Brazilian counterpart for the G20 summit last November, was again invited as a partner country by the host presidents for the 2025 BRICS Summit of Heads of States and Governments. In Rio de Janeiro, Musbah and Wahab, NT News.
Rural communities are the bedrock upon which lasting national development is built, and as such, its population must be empowered to adapt and thrive in the face of the growing challenges of climate change, economic uncertainty, and communal conflicts. Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, highlights this in a message marking this year's World Rural Development Day. She says the theme of the celebration, Rural Development, Resilience to Global Change, speaks to the heart of the challenges faced by nations of the world and calls on Nigerians to work together to ensure that no community is left behind in the ongoing efforts to build a stronger and more resilient Nigeria. And on entertainment news, Nta Akure becomes the youngest Nollywood filmmaker to cross 100 million naira with Red Cycle as Ayo Makun weighs in on Tu Baba public apology. For this and more, let's join Adedoyin Adefila.
On entertainment news this week, comedian and filmmaker Ayo Makun, popularly known as AY, has weighed in on the ongoing drama surrounding music legend Innocent Edibia, popularly known as Tu Baba, following the singer's recent public apology for saying men are not monogamous in nature, and a wave of controversy involving his new partner, Natasha Osawaru. In a strongly worded post, AY defended Tu Baba's vulnerability, describing the apology as a rare act of accountability from a man under visible emotional strain. Another career milestone, Nigerian hitmaker Sheyi Vibes has joined the list of Nigerian artists who have surpassed 1 billion Spotify streams. This marks a high point in the career of the superstar, who has become one of the most viral artists since breaking into the mainstream in 2022 with his hit single Chance. Sheyi Vibes' 1 billion Spotify streams come off the back of his consistent release of albums that have seen him drop 7 solo projects and 1 compilation album in 3 years. And to round up entertainment news this week, Red Cycle has carved out a unique space in Nollywood box office history, and so has the woman whose vision helped bring it to life. Nta Akure, who was just 24 when the film went into production, has officially become the youngest Nigerian cinematographer and producer to lead a film past the 100 million naira mark locally. Released on June 6, the crime thriller directed by A.K. Mason and co-produced by Abdul Tijani Ahmed surged 88 million naira in just 3 weeks, hitting the coveted 9-figure milestone shortly after. It is a remarkable feat, particularly for an original non-franchise title without the backing of a major studio. Now 26, Akure has quietly etched her name into the record book as one of the most exciting young voices behind the lens. And that's all on entertainment news this week. Adedoyin Adefila, NTA News.
Let's join our sports desk for the latest in the sporting world.
Super Falcons head coach Justin Madugu has assured Nigerians that the team is fully committed to meeting the expectations of the passionate supporters as they prepare for their opening encounter of the Women's African Cup of Nations WAFCON in Morocco against Tunisia Sunday. Speaking ahead of the encounter, Coach Madugu expressed his appreciation for the support from the fans across the country, adding that both the players and technical crew are determined to justify that trust. 6 matches were decided Saturday as the All-Stars Invitational Football Tournament enters match day 4 in Abuja. All-Stars University of Abuja Teaching Hospital in their opening campaign lost 1-0 to Like Minds All-Stars Kuje, with Z Michaels also losing 1-0 to Karu All-Stars. In other result, Po Fitness played a 1-1 draw with New Karu.
We're glad we actually took our first win today. We ought to have done this in our last match, but unfortunately, we didn't take our chances.
It's a blow to us that we lost our first game, which is a foundation in any competition. Playing the first game and losing it.
You know, the All-Stars competition in Abuja is going well because we see a lot of discipline, and then the officiating, they are trying. And then if each zone in Nigeria that we keep this momentum, is going to be good for the All-Stars.
The federal government has expressed its commitment to honoring Nigerian sports legends by immortalizing them for their outstanding contributions to national development and global recognition. Chairman National Sport Commission Shehu Diko made this known during a media interaction in Abuja, noting that Nigerian sports icons have played a crucial role in uniting the country and projecting its image positively on the international stage.
We need to find a way to see how we can immortalize his name one way or the other, and because he's really a role model for the young upcoming goalkeepers.
And finally, to tennis, as 7 times Wimbledon champion Novak Djokovic made his way to a rare century at the grass court Grand Slam on Saturday when he outclassed Serbian compatriot Miami Kamanovic 6-3, 6-love, 6-4 to reach the 4th round in his quest for a record 25th major. Meanwhile, Poland's Iga Świątek moved into the 4th round at Wimbledon after a 6-2, 6-3 victory over Daniel Lynn Collins. With Sports Update, Oche Ngbedi, NTA News.
Reports reaching us say the Falcons won 3-0 against their Tunisia counterparts. This is Weekend Grill, where we'll celebrate people, culture, and events. We shall be back after this break. Please stay with us.
NTA Television College Jaws, you will dive into exhilarating hands that will fuel your passion in education and propel your career to new heights. We don't just teach, we craft the next generation of media leaders. Explore our diverse offering, understanding the personnel matters and issues in the public service, basic development communication, financial reporting under IPSAS, and interpretation of public sector accounting standard IPSAS, audit, internal check and control management, video camera maintenance, new technologies, optics, fiber, IP technologies, automation, storage management, and wireless technology. Challenges and opportunities in the secretarial profession in the digital age. Digital marketing, basic drama, online reporting, understanding the provisions of the revised public service, audio engineering operations and maintenance, camera operations, and intermediate drama. Mark your calendar. The second quarter of 2025 is your launch pad. This is your moment to seize the future. Announcer Management.
You're welcome back. You can also watch us on our social media handles on Facebook and YouTube at Nta Akure. And to our Weekend Grill stories, Pristine International Schools has graduated 5 pupils and 72 students during its 14th combined valedictory service. The valedictory service also featured presentation of certificates, prizes, and awards, as well as an induction ceremony into Pristine International School Alumni Network. Helen Indobisi was there for Weekend Grill.
The vibrant procession with a Salem orchestra heralds the series of events for the day amid joyous celebration. The school choir thereafter delivered an enchanting performance, followed by the nursery and primary pupils' presentation of a captivating cultural display. The school's proprietor, Dr. Toyin Ajayi, offered words of wisdom, encouraging the graduates to live their lives with purpose and integrity.
Hold tenaciously to the teachings, the lessons that they have imbibed from here.
The presentation of certificates, prizes and awards to the graduates was yet another colorful moment for recipients to celebrate their achievements. The graduates and their obviously elated parents expressed heartfelt gratitude for the knowledge and skills impacted.
I feel so good. I feel happy. I feel blessed. I thank God for bringing me to see this wonderful day.
It's a great feeling. Obviously, it's double-sided because you're leaving people that you've been with for a very long time, but you're also going to a different level. So it's a feeling of both sadness and joy too.
They should dedicate time every day to study so that they can perform as good as that.
They should have a little bit of patience. Yes, the school may be very frustrating and then there's rumbles once in a while, but this institution is amazing. I don't think there's any other place like this in this whole country.
I want to study hard, make a good background in secondary school. I want to achieve this by reading my books, entering the right courses, listening to my teachers, and making my parents proud.
I want to encourage the graduating students to be focused and then build on what they have learned over the years here. They are light. They shouldn't allow peer influence from the bigger world, because now they are going to the bigger world where they'll meet people from various backgrounds, schools. So they should remember the virtues, the godly virtues they have gotten from Preston.
They would not help the children to pass illegally. They will not ask parents to pay money so that they could induce authorities of examination to get them to pass at special centers. Rather, they will be with the children so that they would have what it takes to be able to face any examination on their own.
The ceremony climaxed with the induction of the class of 2025, fondly called the Luminaries, into the Preston International School Alumni Network.
Though cultural diversity of Nigeria and its different core values remain factors expected to be cherished and preserved for the sake of present and future generations, however, in contemporary era, coupled with the increasing pace of civilization and technology, the nation's cultural values are facing series of changes, transformation, and in some cases extinction, a situation that calls for urgent intervention. In this report, our correspondent examines the impact of civilization on the nation's cultural values and the way out for Weekend Grill.
It is a basic fact that civilization has brought about significant changes to our cultural values in Nigeria as a nation, influencing the various aspects of life. Our culture, which is our identity ranging from language, ethnicity, religion, food, mode of dressing, belief and many others, no doubt are said to be gradually going into extinction due to the influence of civilization, a situation many believe calls for urgent attention. Nta got the perspective of some Nigerians on the impact of civilization on our cultural values.
Civilization is in a way eroding our culture, because if you look at it very critically, our mother's tongue is gradually going to extinction. Then apart from that, our culture, the way we dress, the way we relate as a people, I remember while I was growing up, we relate as communities. But look at what we do today. We are living in a world where civilization has allowed us to see that polygamy is bad. Meanwhile, that was the way our mothers, our father grew up together. That was what they share, the traditional belief and the traditional bond that they had together. But now we are believing that should go into extinction, while we should live me and my family, me and my wife, me and my children alone.
Even because of westernization, people attach everything to religion. Religion is part of the westernization that has affected our culture in a bad way. Like there was a time we had a gallery and the children used to come, you know this material, the objects, the artifact that we keep in the museum, they are evidence of our ancestral achievements of our past, which we use for training this. So, but the parents said, no, they are idol. No, my child will not see that. Whereas they are forgotten, they cannot differentiate between, cannot separate religion from our culture. They go hand in hand together, and that is all that. So likewise, it's not that they are all negative effects. They also have positive effects. At least globalization. You see, you can go around the globe at a time. That is an effect of westernization. Then all this social media stuff. You can send messages from here to Abuja or America in the tweaking of our. Those days we used to write letters or send messages, coded message. They call it Aroko and the stuff. All these things have made everything easy. Then all this computer, advance of computer, it has made all this work of that our local artists will have done for like weeks or months. They can do it within a tweaking of eye because of this modern technology.
They suggested proactive efforts to strike the balance in the aspect of civilization and the preservation of the people's cultural values.
It is important as a 21st century mother, an African of descent, that we should prioritize our languages. This is our identity. So anywhere we find ourselves across the world, we can share the same identity, the same cultural values, so that our culture will not go into extinction. But intentionally, we can work on ourselves and make a good out of it.
The need to understand the impact of civilization on cultural values so that Nigeria can work towards preserving its rich cultural heritage was also stressed, in addition to embracing the benefits of civilization.
That's our package for tonight. We thank you for watching. I am Abiola Abiyo. Good evening.